The S23 Ultra is right around the corner and some have already got their hands on it. Yeah, I'm jealous. The actual overall look of the phone hasn't changed, which I'm 100% okay with because the S22 Ultra, let's be honest, still looks amazing to this day, and I'd argue it's one of the best looking smartphones, in my opinion. So, should you upgrade to the S23 Ultra? Let's go ahead and go over some of the things we already know about the phone because this is the internet and nothing is ever really secret. When it comes to the storage, the S23 Ultra is going to be starting at 256 gigabytes, whereas before it was 128 gigabytes. Now this is good for multiple reasons. One, you pay the same price and you get double the storage from last year. And two, if you live in a country where the S23 Ultra and really in general, every phone is going up in price, now at least you get, you at least get a storage upgrade to help with that burn. So that's always a good thing. If you're going to be paying more, you might as well have more things in the phone. And by more things, I mean more gigabytes of storage. But watch till the end because I have even better news about the storage and I cannot wait. For all the hardcore users out there, the storage does go up to 1 terabyte, which is insane considering that the average computer has less than that. And, we all know what you can do on a computer. One thing that shocked me is that there are multiple rumors talking about the screen brightness. Okay, one leaker is saying it's going to be 1750 nits, same as before. Another one is saying it's going to be 2100 nits, which is just coincidentally 100 nits higher than the iPhone 14 Pro. And in my opinion, I believe it's going to be staying at 1750 nits. The reason is because Samsung doesn't need that extra brightness. Why? Because Samsung, as you guys know from the S21 or the S22 Ultra, I believe also the S21. I could be wrong. It could be just the S22. But the screen doesn't just get bright in the sunlight. It also messes with the contrast. So the contrast actually gets better. The colors pop more. So it doesn't get as bright as, for example, the iPhone 14 Pro or the Pro Max, but since it does all that trickery with the contrasting and everything, the colors popping, it looks brighter than it is, put it that way. So if Samsung can find a way, which I'm pretty sure they did, to make that even better while having the actual physical brightness still be at 1750 nits, that'd be great because we all know with the iPhone 14 Pro and Pro Max, yeah, their displays get ridiculously bright when you're outdoors. But then your battery just goes way down, so you have to kind of pick your poison. The battery life is going to be staying at 5,000 milliamp hours, which is fine because it's getting the new Snapdragon 8 Gen 2. As we all know, with the S22 Ultra, that had the Snapdragon 8 Gen 1, which was really good, really powerful, but bad for battery life and bad for heat management. And then a year later, with the Flip and Fold 4, we got the Snapdragon 8 Plus Gen 1, which helped so much with power efficiency, so your phone doesn't ever really get hot, at least nowhere close to the S22 Ultra. The battery life is staying at 5,000 milliamp hours, which in my opinion is perfectly fine because we all know that optimization means more to battery life than actual battery capacity. If we take a look at the S22 Ultra, yeah, it was super powerful with the Snapdragon 8 Plus or the Snapdragon 8 Gen 1. It was very powerful, but its battery life went out the door and it got a little too warm for comfort. Skip forward a year and we get to the Flip and Fold 4 with the Snapdragon 8 Plus Gen 1. That helped a ton with battery life and it got even more powerful. Now the S23 Ultra is expected to obviously get the 8 Gen 2, which is even better than the 8 Plus Gen 1. So we can only assume that battery life and power efficiency and heat management and overall just the usability of the phone is going to be better. Now I'm not expecting battery life to be like an hour better, but certainly it's not going to be worse. Right? Hopefully. One thing I wish was for Samsung to get with the program on charging speeds. I think the first Samsung phone that had the 45-watt charger, or at least capable of being charged at 45 watts, was the Note 10 Plus. And ever since that phone, they haven't really touched anything about the charging. It still takes 30 minutes to get from 0 to 50%, whereas companies like OnePlus, I think they also have a 45-watt charger, or even less than that, but I think 30 watts or 35 watts, or at least the phone that I'm thinking of. But even that phone charges faster than basically any Samsung phone. And I'm not the only one. There are actually a lot of Samsung fanboys, even fanboys, are agreeing with me that charging speeds on the latest Samsung phones are just not that good. And I don't know why. Maybe Samsung is still scared of, or something along those lines. I'm not sure what the dealio is, but we're having phones that charge at over 100 watts, even 200 watts, I think, and they're doing just fine. Okay, so Samsung, give us a little bit more. Now, when it comes to the super duper new feature of the S23 Ultra, of course, it's the camera. Phones nowadays are becoming so plateaued and so boring, honestly. Let's just think about it. Let's agree, phones are getting really boring. And we see this because companies, instead of spending time on stage of talking about the actual phone, which they kind of do, but they focus so much on cameras. Why? Because we still haven't really gotten the full potential of smartphone photography. We're getting there certainly, but we're not there yet, not even close in my opinion. So of course, companies are going to pay more attention to the cameras, and here is the biggest upgrade, the 200 megapixel camera, up from 108 megapixels from last year. It should upgrade the quality by a decent margin. I'm not expecting like day and night differences because I'm so tired of doing that. I always hype myself up. Anytime I see a new camera system, I'm like, oh my God. But then I get it in my hands and I'm like, this is nothing like they showed on stage. Obviously, because they got a whole team of professionals doing the lighting, and if it's a video, then they're doing lighting, they're doing audio work, they're doing color grading, which is fine to show the full potential of the camera. I get it, I get it. Why'd I say that so weird? But then the average person is looking at that saying, "Oh my God, my phone can do that," and then they get it in their hands, start recording. And it's like nothing like what was shown, So I'm keeping my hype level down, okay? Yes, it's 200 megapixels, but what does that mean in the real world? I can't even guess. I don't know. We'll just see. I'm not trusting any Samsung hype on stage. I know they're going to focus a lot on the camera. I'm not paying attention to it. Nope, I'm done with that. I'm going to wait until the phone is in my hands. That's it. Okay, so for the storage, I said I had some better news on the storage. Okay, so I'm talking about the pre-order period. This is why I want more people to take advantage of the pre-order period, okay? Because last year, with the Flip, with the S22 Ultra, which almost came out a year ago, actually it basically did come out a year ago, Samsung was doing insane pre-order bundles and deals. They were giving you full price trade-in, even if your phone had a cracked display. That's right. You could, in fact, a lot of people, what they did was they went on eBay, bought a cracked S21 Ultra for less money than what Samsung was giving them for the trade-in for the cracked phone. So people were buying used S21 Ultras off of someone with a cracked display for mad cheap, and then they were trading it into Samsung for the full trade-in, which was like $900. And then they used that, of course, to buy the S22 Ultra. They're going to be doing the same exact thing this year because it's Samsung. They always throw these weird, crazy things at you to entice you to buy the phone, and it works. Now, when it comes to the storage, again, last year, they also had the ability, you had the ability to upgrade your storage for free during the pre-order period. So last year, obviously the base storage was 128. So during the pre-order period, you got bumped up to 256 without paying extra, which means if Samsung were to do that again this year, which again, I have a really strong suspicion they are, then you'll go from 256 to 512 without paying extra. Now, this is why I'm saying always take advantage of pre-order deals if you're going to be picking up a phone. So if you want those pre-order goodies, I'll have a link down below. And by the way, in that link, if you put in your name and your email to reserve the phone, Samsung's going to throw you $50 of credit. So you can use that $50 towards cases, towards chargers, anything. And again, all you need to do is put in your name and your email, and you get the $50 in credit whenever the phone does go on pre-order, which, and like I said, I mean, they're basically giving these phones away for free every year. I mean, I've had someone buy the Flip 4 using my link for literally $99. If I find that screenshot, I'll put it up right now. I was mind blown. So again, if you want to take advantage of Samsung's pre-orders, I'll have a link down below for you to reserve the phone. That's it. That's all I'm saying. Are you guys excited for the S23 Ultra? If you are, let me know down below. Are you picking it up? Are you waiting for the S24 Ultra? Are you waiting for another phone? Are you waiting for dinner to be done? I don't know. I don't know where I was getting with that. I give up. This was Mark from Mark Stack. Subscribe and adios.